that's it. That's the main features of the house.
What's up, guys? Chris with the Investors Edge Real Estate Group. We're out
Deals that are not available to the general public.
negotiate offers as they come in.
I'm here today looking for grandmas and grandpas.
This is where you're going to make your money.
Okay. Well, my name is Shaina Farnsworth. I am a property manager turned investor developer, and I am from Phoenix, Arizona.
Perfect. So we are currently in Shaina's new build. What led you to get into the business of building new homes? Have you done this before?
This is my very first one. I've always been interested in building since I was a young girl. I took wood shopping class, and my dad was an electrician, so I always was interested in plans. And when the opportunity arose, I decided that I would do it. I bought the house next door, I remodeled it, and demoed what was on this lot and decided to design something nice to go here. And it's happening, and it's not too bad.
So this design is a starter home. What made you want to build a starter home that's only 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and 1,200 square feet?
Well, it's actually 1,100 square foot, and the idea was to provide an affordable home for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to purchase and be homeowners, someone like myself, under the $200,000 range. By doing that, I had to keep it under 4-bedroom for cost purposes, otherwise we'd end up with the abnormally small bedrooms, and I don't think that was good. So 3 bedrooms seemed to be enough for small families, and it's got a great amount of room. We've got an island in here, so the options for dining is a little flexible, and I think that's important with small families. But the idea is to provide home ownership for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to.
What experience did you have prior to starting this new build?
Little to zero. I know about 1% in terms of what there is to know about real estate in general. Development is its own pocket, and there's a lot of unknowns here. But I started at a real estate seminar, and I ran with the great information that they gave me. I developed a small team of people, a good lender, and then I always got out in the field. I talked to people. Whenever I stop and see a new build, I stop and ask if I can check out the progress. I grab a card. There's never enough information that you can get, and being out in the field is key. For me, to be on the job site and in the field knowing what's going on is the key to my success and development.
How did you fund this deal?
Well, I found somebody who I knew had a retirement account that was pretty good, and I decided that I needed to ask if they would put their faith in me, knowing nothing, but having a drive and a goal and a vision, and they took their chances, and this is where we've ended up. I'm 4 projects in with the same person and plan to keep going with their support and with the support of other people that I've been meeting and networking with. So I think it's working out pretty good.
What have some of the challenges been?
With this project?
Yes.
Well, we've come into multiple problems, such as not recognizing discrepancies in the site plan and the grading and drainage. So in the future, I would definitely be comparing plans myself, although I'm not educated on reading them. I feel like I'm pretty well qualified after this. So we've had grading and draining issues. We've had structural issues with the trusses. There's a lot of unknowns that come up, and my biggest piece of advice would be prepared. Always have extra cash, and just be prepared for anything to come up and go with it, because there's going to be bumps.
What has your experience been being a woman in a man's contracting world?
Well, I've had to be very assertive, very matter-of-factly. I can't be very nice. I have to come on site knowing my stuff. So that means studying everything prior to coming on. That way people can't try to BS me, so to speak. It's not easy. They definitely expect you to not know anything, to just go with their recommendations. I check everything. So just because my contractor says it's supposed to be this way, I don't go with it. I go check my plans. I call my architect. I make sure, because being a woman in this, people feel like they can get over on you a lot. And actually, people don't take me very seriously. That's where I wear boots. Just kidding.
There we go.
One of my biggest mistakes was coming on site with open-toed shoes, and it happened one time, and I said, "Oh, no one's going to take me seriously," so I stopped doing that.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
What is some other advice that you would give to investors who have experience but have never jumped into the new construction?
Oh, just do it. If you have the experience, not a lot can go wrong. I had no experience whatsoever. I had motivation. I had a huge drive, being a single mother, taking care of 3 kids. So I just really had not a lot of options. What I did do is make sure that my lending was solid and that the people that I chose to work with were solid and that of integrity. That way I didn't get screwed at the end. If you make sure those couple things, I think you can get through most things okay. And sometimes profits are tight, but the learning curve is priceless. Just build good relationships and go for it. There's not a lot you can lose, money, but other than that, you're never gonna know if you don't try it. Do it. Put your knowledge out there and help those who need your knowledge and that can feed off of it as well. I think it's the most encouraging thing to see people who go to school for these things, who learn these trades, go out there and use them themselves as opposed to working for other people. Like, just do it.
So why don't you tell me about this project?
Okay, well, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,100 square foot house. Very small and affordable. We're not really sure what it's going to hit the market for, but definitely under $200,000. It's my design. I have a couple of features in here that I wanted to be a signature, so to speak, that nobody else is doing. That would be one, the front porch, and then the kitchen in here is a little bit different than others. And other than that, let's see, it's been fun building. It's fairly simple. I plan to get it standardized, so anyone who wants to take a look at it, if you like it, maybe the plans will be available later.
Why did you decide to go with a entry-level product?
It's the price range, affordability for families to acquire home ownership at an affordable price, whereas they wouldn't be able to otherwise. It's important that young families have the opportunity of home ownership. It's just not prevalent enough, and there's not enough young homeowners. I just want to saturate our communities with our parents' children being able to live next door to them if they want to, as opposed to living in their house. So I just think it's a good option for us younger people or people with a tighter income to be able to maintain their own home and not be renting forever.
That's great. How can people get a hold of you?
Well, you can get a hold of me on Facebook under Shaina Farnsworth, and from there I could give you my business details, email, or phone number, but Facebook would be the easiest way.